Hi. Um, Not really a whole much of a point for a video today, other than the fact that I was supposed to leave for Japan today. This was some of the upgrades' original departure date. The other group would be next week. And it's just kind of weird to think about that, I would be on an airplane right now on my way to Japan. Actually, you can still see my luggage thrown out in the back, so it's it's kind of funny to think about, because in one aspect it seems real, and in another seems totally made up, because we haven't had anything tangible, really. I mean, we have and we haven't. Like, I have been very lucky compared to the other upgrades, that my BOE has contacted me, my Board of Education. My supervisor has contacted me, and they are very lovely and super sweet and so helpful. My predecessor has contacted me, and I've had a meeting with them. So out of the upgrades, have been very, very lucky that I've had all this contact. So I do have some tangible things. My supervisor even had the students at the school, some of the students in English, make me a video showing me their favorite things. So that way I would have some ideas of what to do when I come, like going fishing and camping, and some of their favorite desserts and where to get them. And so I have had, more tangible items than other people in my group, but I still, my passport's gone. That's at the embassy right now. I'm hoping that's okay. I never heard anything back about that, if that was wrong or not. So my passport's at the embassy. I don't have a plane ticket. I don't have a departure date. I don't even have an apartment. Right now, I don't have anywhere to live in Japan. I don't have a car. So because I have to find my own apartment with the help of my supervisor and a agency. So since they don't know when I'm arriving, they're not going to get me an apartment yet, because there's no reason to get one until I come. They're not going to pay for an apartment for me until I come over. They're not even then. I'm paying for it, but they're not going to hold it for me. So that's a little sad, but it feels weird that I could have been on a plane today meeting some of my fellow upgrades from my consulate for the first time, and then, within the next few hours, probably, if not a little bit more, being in a hotel in Tokyo. But I'm not. And you know what? I'm not brokenhearted. I'm not brokenhearted like some of the people are about not leaving today. I am excited, and I am looking forward to going to Japan, but I'm not crying over the fact that we're not leaving today. It gives me more time here to save money, more time with my family, more time with my grandma, who will probably not be here when I get back. We have talked about that, her and I, so it's something we both kind of expect to happen. So I'm very grateful to be able to have extra time with her, extra time with some of my friends, if that's able to happen within safety reasons, with how many COVID cases has come about in the last couple weeks. But then it's the unknown. Well, if we don't leave now, when are we going to leave? Well, if the borders open it back up at the end of February, we could get there at the end of March, April, around the start of the new school year, which I think would be a good time to start. In my opinion, would be a great time to start, because then you start off with students, you start off with respect from them right away. You're not a person that randomly comes into their class halfway through the year. So I wouldn't mind April, March. You know, it's not too hot yet. It's not the summer. It's still like a little cold enough that maybe I can get by with wearing my winter coat, not shipping it over. I don't know. I would be okay arriving in April or March. I'm sorry. But there's no guarantee of that. Someone actually contacted their Board of Education, and their Board of Education was like, well, if you don't come over here in April or March, I can 100% see them trying to ship you over in like July, August. And it's like, like I could wait that long. I could. I have very flexible jobs right now, so I'm very lucky in that aspect. But do I want to wait that long? Is another question. I will, but like, I think it would be a little bit more painful to wait that long. Again, we're not in the boat as the same as some of the 2020 jets are. There are still 2020 jets waiting to go over from Miami and South Africa, and I do not envy their positions. But it's getting to the point where, like, I applied a year and a half ago. I submitted my application, and I'm still in America. So, you know, I think anyone would feel a little conflicted in our positions, but I am 100% happy to wait. I just don't want to come in the middle of summer. Like, I prepared myself for that initially, and then, you know, when I got upgraded, it was like, oh, winter. And I'm like, oh, right, winter, cold, woo. And now there's a chance it could be summer again, which it's fine. But I'm a plus size person, so summers are not our friends. And also, like, my supervisor told me, I asked him, I was like, do you want me to bring anything for you? Do you want to try anything? And she's like, oh, no. But I really miss Reese's peanut butter cups. And I was like, ooh, I'll bring you some since I'm not coming in summer and they won't melt. But if I come in summer, that's a different story. So I'm really hoping spring, you know, a couple more months here, you know, to get everything situated. I won't have to drive in the winter right away, so that would be nice for me. And then I could bring, you know, Reese's over for her, and they wouldn't melt. Beginning of a school year, you know, I really hope April, you know, but we'll see. But yeah, it's just weird to think about that I would be on an airplane right now if things didn't change last month, if things didn't change at the end of November. It's kind of a weird thought, because it's like, no, I wouldn't be on an airplane today. Like, it just snuck up on us. Like, all of us on the upgraded chat were talking, and we were like, can you believe we would have been on an airplane today? Like, can you imagine? And like, we all felt like, it was like, oh my gosh, we have 2 months to wait. That's so long. And then it's here now, but none of us are going over. So it came quicker than we expected. It's like, wow, I still have so much to do. I would have not been ready. I think we would have been, but we all kind of like procrastinated a little bit. And like, some of the things you just don't want to do until you leave. So that's another thing, but it's just really weird to think about that, you know, we would have been in Japan in a couple of hours from now and starting our new lives, but we're still here. I do think that they might start doing exceptions soon, because actually they started doing exceptions with family members of residents, and then I think today or yesterday, they actually gave exception to students, so like study abroad students from college, that they can now start coming over in levels of importance. So like science is first, I think, because they have labs and stuff. So that's really exciting to think about. You know, maybe by the end of February, since we're employed by the government, we'll be in. Who knows? Who knows? Um, there's been a lot of news sources that have been reaching out to Jets, asking them their opinion, trying to get our voices out in Japan. I have not interviewed with any of them. I've known Jets who have. So I know that there are people in Japan that are trying to advocate for us, as well as our Board of Educations. However, that's not as many people as as you think. It is a lot of people, but I don't think it's enough to convince them to change it right now. So it's just weird. We all thought we'd maybe like meet up later and just reminisce about how we were supposed to be leaving for Japan today. But I don't know. It's just weird to think about. You know, until I'm on that plane, I don't feel like any of this will feel actually tangible in my hands. And then I'll probably go into a full out, oh my gosh, I'm moving halfway across the world and I don't know anyone. I don't know any Japanese. I don't know the area I'm living in very well. You know, I don't know what all my job will entail because every situation is different. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but it's exciting to think about too. So however long it takes, I am willing to wait, but just kind of a surreal feeling. Kind of wish I was on the airplane today, but at the same time, I'm okay with waiting a little bit too. So we'll see what comes in the next month, if we will be leaving, if we won't. They say minimum, they give us a month's notice. But then the person's Board of Education told them, well, with COVID, it's different. Now it's like getting closer to around 2 months notice. So if we find out in the middle of February, we probably won't be getting there till earliest end of March, mid-April. So might be there at the beginning of the year, might be at there right after it starts, might be there in July, August, who knows. So we'll keep you updated and we'll find out.